You turn your back for 1 second, and the roast chicken you left on the counter has vanished. You come home to find the kitchen trash can has been expertly excavated, its contents strewn across the floor. You try to enjoy a quiet snack on the sofa, only to be met with a pair of soulful, laser-focused brown eyes that haven't blinked in 10 minutes. If you have a beagle, you know this isn't a crime scene, it's just a Tuesday. Their legendary appetite is the stuff of internet memes and countless hilarious stories. We laugh about it. We share videos, and we bond with other owners over the sheer absurdity of their food-driven chaos. But while their never-ending quest for a snack can be funny, have you ever had that nagging thought in the back of your mind? A little whisper that asks, is this really normal? You could feed them a 5-course meal, and 2 minutes later they're looking at you like they haven't eaten in weeks. What if that constant, ravenous hunger isn't just a funny quirk, but a sign of something more? Today, we're going beyond the jokes. We're going to uncover the hidden medical and behavioral triggers that could be turning your loving companion into a furry, food-obsessed machine. This isn't about scolding them, it's about understanding them on a deeper level. You might think you know why your beagle is always hungry, but I promise you, some of these reasons will surprise you. So, let's get into the 3 surprising reasons your beagle can't stop eating, and what you can actually do to help. The reason you think you know, a hunter's legacy. Alright, let's start with the reason most beagle owners already suspect. It's the classic explanation we all fall back on when our beagle has inhaled their dinner. In 12 seconds flat, their history. Before they were masters of the comfy couch and expert-level beggars, beagles were bred for one main job, to be scent hounds. For centuries, these dogs were developed to work in packs. Their job to follow a scent trail tirelessly for miles and miles. With a single-minded focus that bordered on obsession. Think about what that requires. It requires a ton of energy and stamina. Their bodies are high-performance engines designed for endurance, and what fuels an engine? Calories. Lots of them. This isn't just a learned behavior, it's baked into their DNA. Their ancestors didn't know when their next meal was coming. A successful hunt meant a feast, but an unsuccessful one meant a long, hungry wait. This created an opportunistic feeding strategy. Eat as much as you possibly can, whenever you can. That powerful instinct hasn't just vanished now that they live in our homes. With a guaranteed meal schedule, that incredible nose, which can pick up the faintest scent of a dropped crumb from 3 rooms away, is directly wired to a brain that screams, food, survival, eat it now. Their sense of smell is so dominant that it can literally overpower their feeling of being full. Experts suggest that unlike many other breeds, beagles have a very weak satiety response, meaning the I'm full signal just doesn't have the same stopping power. So when your beagle stares at you pleadingly moments after finishing breakfast, in their mind, they might genuinely be preparing for a famine. This is the foundation of their food obsession, but it's only piece 1 of the puzzle. What if it's more than just history? The surprising medical emergency when hunger is a symptom. This is where we move from a quirky breed trait to a serious red flag. If your dog's appetite has suddenly and dramatically increased, it might not be their personality, it could be a sign of an underlying medical condition. This excessive, medically driven hunger is called polyphagia, and you can't ignore it. One of the most critical conditions to be aware of is Cushing's disease, and beagles are a breed particularly prone to it. Cushing's is caused by the overproduction of the stress hormone, cortisol. This hormone overload sends the body into high alert, and one of its main side effects is a raging, insatiable appetite. But it's not just hunger. Other key symptoms include a huge increase in thirst and urination. You might find your house-trained dog suddenly having accidents. They may also develop a distinct pot-bellied look, along with hair loss and low energy. If this sounds familiar, a trip to the vet is a necessity. Another major medical culprit is diabetes mellitus. Just like in humans, canine diabetes means the body can't use sugar from food for energy. Their cells are starving, sending constant signals to the brain that say, we need more fuel. This results in a dog that is always hungry, yet, paradoxically, may be losing weight. That combination of ravenous appetite paired with unexplained weight loss is a classic warning sign. Finally, there are malabsorption disorders, like exocrine pancreatic insufficiency (EPI). With these conditions, your beagle could be eating plenty of high-quality food, but their body simply can't absorb the nutrients. From their body's perspective, they are starving, no matter how much they eat. Again, you'll see a dog obsessed with food and losing weight, often with digestive issues like greasy stools or vomiting. The key takeaway is this: a sudden, persistent change in appetite should never be dismissed. The hidden behavioral triggers: an anxious, bored mind. So, you've taken your beagle to the vet, And thankfully, they've gotten a clean bill of health. You're relieved, but also confused. If they're not sick, why are they still trying to eat the drywall? This brings us to our third reason, which is all about what's going on in their head, behavioral triggers like boredom, anxiety, and a dangerous condition called pica. Beagles are incredibly intelligent dogs bred to solve problems all day long. Now, most are companion animals whose biggest challenge is figuring out which sunbeam to nap in. This lack of mental stimulation can lead to serious boredom, and for many dogs, eating becomes an activity to pass the time. Chewing and eating releases endorphins, making them feel good. If your Beagle doesn't have enough puzzles or enriching toys, they will find their own job, and that job is often scavenging. Beyond boredom, there's stress and anxiety, like people. Dogs can turn to food as a coping mechanism. A major change in the household, a move, a new baby, a different schedule can trigger anxiety. That shows up as compulsive eating. They aren't eating because they're hungry. They're eating because it's a predictable, comforting action in a world that feels overwhelming. This leads to the most dangerous behavioral issue, pica. Pica is the compulsion to eat non-food items, rocks, fabric, plastic, you name it. While sometimes linked to medical issues, it's very often a behavioral problem stemming from that same deep well of boredom and anxiety. Your Beagle might start by shredding a toy and then escalate to swallowing the pieces. This is incredibly dangerous and can lead to choking, poisoning, or catastrophic intestinal blockages that require emergency surgery. If you notice your Beagle eating things that aren't food, it's a serious problem that needs immediate attention. Understanding why your Beagle is a bottomless pit is the first, most important step. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do. First, and this is non-negotiable, if you suspect a medical issue, see your vet immediately. Describe all the changes you've noticed. Let them run the necessary tests to rule out or diagnose conditions like Cushing's, diabetes, or malabsorption disorders. This is the only way to be sure. If the cause is behavioral, your job is to become your Beagle's enrichment officer. To combat boredom and anxiety, you need to engage their mind and body. Make mealtime a challenge. Ditch the bowl. Use slow feeder bowls, snuffle mats, or puzzle toys that make them work for their food. This slows them down and provides crucial mental stimulation. Increase their exercise and sniffing time. A tired Beagle is a happy Beagle. Ensure they get plenty of physical activity, but also let them have walks where they are allowed to just follow their nose. This fulfills a deep, instinctual need. Establish a predictable routine. Dogs thrive on consistency. Regular feeding times, walks, and play can significantly reduce anxiety because they know what to expect. Manage the environment. If your Beagle is a counter surfer or a trash raider, you have to become a master of prevention. Keep counters clear. Use dog-proof trash cans and don't leave temptation lying around. You have to be smarter than the Beagle, which is easier said than done. And now, I want to hear from you. I know every Beagle owner has at least one legendary story about their dog's food antics. I'd love to hear your Beagle's crazy food stories in the comments below. What's the most ridiculous thing they've ever eaten or tried to steal? Sharing these stories helps us all feel like we're part of one big, slightly exasperated, but loving community. And if you want more tips on caring for your food-obsessed friend, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Your Beagle's insatiable appetite is a complex mix of ancient instinct, potential medical alarms, and deep-seated behavioral needs. It's part of what makes them a Beagle. By moving past a simple joke that Beagles just love to eat, we can become better advocates for their health and happiness, whether it's recognizing the subtle signs of a serious illness like Cushing's disease, or realizing that their scavenging is a cry for more mental engagement. This knowledge empowers you. It allows you to address the root cause, not just the frustrating symptoms. So, the next time your Beagle gives you those pleading, "I'm starving" eyes right after dinner, you'll be able to look back with a little more understanding, a little more patience, and a clear plan to ensure they are not just full, but truly fulfilled. After all, loving these charming, challenging, and perpetually hungry hounds is what being a Beagle owner is all about.